Hello, everybody. Welcome to another spellbinding edition of the best of Matt Connarton Unleashed, as we do every Saturday morning, a new episode from the studios of WMNH 95.3 FM. Of course, Matt Connarton Unleashed can be heard live weekdays from 4 to 6 p.m. on WMNH 95.3 FM in glorious downtown Manchester, New Hampshire. But on Saturday mornings, from 9 to 11, we give you a little best of some of our favorite clips from the last week, and perhaps even might throw in something from the week before, or even going way, way back to early in the show. You just never know what we're going to give you, but you can be sure it's prime quality stuff. Is that even a phrase, prime quality, I guess? Anyway, I think I saw that on some meat once at the supermarket. Let's open it up this week with a little morsel of, some smooth jazz. You might recall back on April 1st, April Fool's Day, was the debut and immediate cancellation of Matt Connarton's smooth jazz experience. But we were paid a visit recently by Easy G, Eric Gagnon, and he kind of led us into revisiting the old smooth jazz, at least for a few minutes. Here it is. Do you believe in an antichrist?
It could be the president right now.
That's a very controversial thing to say, Easy G. And that's what we like on this show. I'm glad.
It could be.
I mean, I'm not saying... That's Easy G saying that. Send your hate mail to Easy G.
It could be the Antichrist.
Wow. So you're saying... So you believe that our president, Donald John Trump, is the Antichrist. You're on record saying that.
It could be.
Could be.
I have no proof.
Right. You can't prove it.
He acts like it sometimes.
I believe Easy G. Now, I'm going to, even though I'm not a big Trump guy, I'm going to refute what you're saying. I'm going to give you a counter argument. I'm going to give you a very sophisticated counter argument. You ready?
Yep.
I think the Antichrist would have better hair.
Well, you might be right about that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm right about that, Easy G. I imagine the Antichrist to be kind of a smooth character.
Yeah, like smooth jazz.
No. Well, maybe. Yeah, actually, the Antichrist probably would like smooth jazz. Do you like the smooth jazz, Easy G?
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah.
There's going to be some jazz over the Bookery tomorrow.
There's going to be jazz at the Bookery?
Yep.
What? Who's playing?
Some Collective Soul, I guess, or some kind of...
Collective Soul? They're doing jazz now?
There's some kind of jazz at the Bookery at 6:30.
Jazz. Remember that song? Collective Soul?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you like in honor of Easy G requesting some smooth jazz.
Yeah, I remember that time I walked in here and we were doing smooth jazz.
Yeah, you like the smooth jazz, don't you, Easy G?
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah. Listen to that bass. I can play. I'm a bass player. I can play like that. Listen to that. That's smooth. Was that a flute in the background? That's a pretty jazzy sounding flute. It's the return of the smooth jazz. Look at you. You're getting into it. Getting into the smooth jazz.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's nice.
My mother likes the smooth jazz.
Oh, yeah. I can dig it.
Kenny G there.
This is groovy. You got it.
One of her favorites.
Oh, yeah. Kenny. You like the Kenny G?
My mother does.
Yeah. Speaking of great hair, I mean, Kenny G, that's the kind of hair the Antichrist would have. Maybe Kenny G is the Antichrist.
Probably not.
Yeah, probably not. The Antichrist would probably not be a smooth jazz musician. Probably be more like satanic death metal, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, boy.
Singing songs about cutting the heads off goats and then drinking the blood.
Oh, boy.
And then shoving the goat carcass out a window and onto the street. Well, that's what they do. There you go. There's some smooth jazz. That was nice. That was groovy.
Yeah, groovy, right.
Did I? Oh, you're far away from your mic and you're covering your mouth when you talk.
Oh, all right. Well, the microphone's right here. You can't hear me?
I can now. Hey, we all need a little smooth jazz once in a while, right? Well, maybe not so much. But so much fun being visited by the great Easy G, Eric Gagnon, who is the entertainment reporter on the morning show with Peter White, and from what I understand, is now doing the entertainment report exclusively on the morning show, because I'm just not as much fun. But that's fine. I don't take that personally. But we did have a great time with Easy G, so we're going to actually share another clip from the same show. This is Easy G and I discussing a few different issues that somehow end up becoming intertwined some way. Let's see, we had, we talked about the NFL and Dancing with the Stars and murder. Oh, yes. Murder. So here it is. Here's the next clip. It's a little hard to describe. I gave it a shot, but you'll have to just hear it for yourself. Here we go.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
You were kind of. It's at an odd angle, though. It's like it's almost like you're trying to speak with your pecs, which I can understand why you would, being the physical specimen that you are.
There you go.
You know,
that's probably better.
Let me hear your body talk. Your body talk.
That better now?
That is much better. Do you like the Olivia Newton-John?
No, I can't see your face.
What do you prefer, Olivia Newton-John or smooth jazz?
I like them both.
Me too.
Grease there.
Grease is the word that you heard. It's got groove, it's got meaning.
Yeah, it's weird. I got the microphone up now. I can't see your face.
Right. Does that bother you, Easy G?
I guess not.
Yeah, I mean, I know I'm a stunningly handsome man. I also have the body of an Adonis, clearly, but, but I try to, the thing is, Easy G, when you're here, I try to dial down my own sexiness a little bit because you can't have too much sexy in one room at the same time. Do you not agree?
Is that what Jenny tells you?
That's what the listeners tell me. I get a lot of Facebook messages immediately after the show, Easy G. And one of the things I consistently hear from listeners is, Matt, sometimes your show is almost too sexy.
Too sexy for your shirt. Remember that guy?
Yes, I do remember that guy. Right, said Fred.
Oh, boy. He was a one-hit wonder.
Actually, yes. Who would have guessed?
Yeah, it was a pretty dumb song. Too sexy for my shirt.
Well, he was a sexy beast. And I'm secure enough in my masculinity to say it, as I'm sure you are as well, Easy G.
Yeah.
As you wear that very phallic-looking shirt. Now, what's that pin? You're also wearing a pin.
Yeah, the Patriots. But I'm almost embarrassed to wear it now.
Now why is that, Easy G? Let's do a little sports talk.
I don't know, because of the Antonio Brown situation. But I'm still wearing it, I guess. So.
Now, I actually know a little bit about this because, as you know, I am not a sports guy.
Right.
However, I have been learning, and I've been learning because, and I won't say on what station because it's on a rival station, but late at night, I have been listening to Scott Farrell and his program, Farrell on the Bench, and the reason that I listen is because I love Scott Farrell's voice and his
raspy voice,
and his whole personality, his whole vibe. I could listen to him talk about anything. It doesn't have to be sports.
He hates the Patriots.
Why now? So tell me, why does he hate the Patriots? Because I
don't know. I was listening to it last night.
Yeah, I heard a little bit of last night's show. He was talking about
with Patriots picked up over the years now a murderer and now a rapist. And that guy's not even
alleged.
Right, but he just said rapist. He didn't say alleged or anything.
Well, it's Scott Farrell.
Yeah, I guess so.
He's got a little bit of shock jock in him. Yeah,
but don't you think that can be a little get himself a little bit of trouble, calling somebody a rapist when they're not? They're supposed to be an alleged rapist. Supposed to be innocent until proven guilty here in America. Sometimes it's innocent, guilty until proven innocent here. Sometimes in America.
Did you just say guilty until proven innocent?
Sometimes it's like that in America.
Oh, yes. Well, people are...
watch his mouth.
People are convicted in the media.
Yeah.
Before they're ever convicted
that guy better
in a court
pay
of
attention
law.
because you never know who's listening.
Right.
His lawyer might be listening to that.
That's true.
And came with a slander suit.
Yes, a slander suit. I don't think that anyone will sue Scott Farrell, but I certainly hope not because I've become a fan.
You never know. These days.
Now the murderer you referred to was what was her
Hernandez.
name? What was his first name?
Aaron.
Yes, Aaron Hernandez.
But he was a bad dude in Florida when he was supposed to play for them. So.
And he killed himself in prison, right?
He did.
And didn't they open up his brain and he had some CTE going on?
Oh, a lot of them do, yeah.
Yeah. Very common.
I think he allegedly killed 3 people. I know he got convicted for 1, but I think he had something to do with his other 2 people.
Oh, my goodness. Wow.
It's like that crazy dude on Dancing with the Stars there, the guy from the Ravens there. I can't think of his name right now. He's a Hall of Famer. And just before the Super Bowl, 2 of his buddies got killed in a limo, and they never really found out who did it. But the And now he's a big celebrity. He's on Dancing with the Stars on Monday. That tells you how low that show has sunk.
Oh, are you talking about Sean Spicer? He was the
no, he didn't kill anybody
from the Trump administration because he's on Dancing with the Stars now.
This is the guy from the Ravens.
Oh, okay.
Ravens.
Okay, so Sean Spicer hasn't killed anyone.
No.
Oh, okay.
Well, he hasn't been convicted of killing anyone, but I think he knew who killed him, and he kept his mouth shut.
But didn't Sean Spicer attempt at one point to murder Jim Acosta from CNN? Or did I imagine that?
I think you imagine that.
I thought he had poisoned him. No?
But I can't believe they allowed this alleged murderer to be on Dancing with the Stars. I think it's the biggest joke. Can't think of his name right now, but
I heard he's a great dancer. I heard he's on there killing it. I get it. You see what I did there?
His family was on.
He's on there killing it.
Article, yeah, in the USA paper a while back, and when he was in the Hall of Fame, they were so mad because their family members are gone and they blame him.
Oh. Well, I won't joke about that. That's very sad.
It is sad.
But he was not. But what happened though? I'm confused. So he was.
Well,
not,
I think he knew who was murdered, but he kept his mouth shut. And some other people went to jail, and he's just walking around.
Oh, that's not right.
He's a big celebrity.
Well, and what's his name again?
Can't think of his name, but he used to play for the Ravens, the Hall of Famer. He went to the Hall of Fame a couple years ago, and now he's on Dancing with the Stars on Monday.
I gotta look this up. I want to know more about this. I want to know why a murderer.
He's on my S list.
He's on your S list. You have an S list, yes.
He's the only one on it at the moment.
So he played for the Baltimore Ravens?
Right, he's on Dancing with the Stars on
Ravens.
Monday on ABC.
Monday's on ABC. Do you watch that?
No, right now my TV is dead. So
what happened to your TV?
Well, they rescanned the channels in the government there on August 3rd to a new frequency, and like the on-air television there for free stuff.
Yeah.
And somehow it kicked off all my 4 channels.
Oh, no.
Yep. The TV was really old anyway, so it's like 25 years oold.
25 years old? That is an
one of those
old
2-inch television.
Oh, my goodness. That's an old television. Did you say 2-inch?
Yep. Well, 2 inches.
Yeah, only 2 inches. That is...
And I broke it a couple different times. My father was, the king of all parts. He was able to fix it. But this time he can't fix it because it's all government stuff now.
Yeah. 2 inches. Are you Irish?
Yep.
So me too. Baltimore Ravens wide receiver Jacoby Jones.
No, that's not him.
That's not him?
Nope.
Because he's on Dancing with the Stars. You sure that's not him?
No.
Ray Lewis?
Ray Lewis, that's the guy.
Oh.
He was mixed up in a murder investigation, 2001. Right?
Oh, really?
Yeah, right around 2000, I think it was there, 2000 or 2001. I think
right.
he knew who did it, but he kept his mouth shut, and then somebody else went to jail.
All right, so now I'm Googling Ray Lewis murderer. Let's see. Because we're actually going to, I don't know if I mentioned this, EZG. We actually have Ray Lewis booked to be a guest.
Oh, no.
I'm going to ask him if he's a murderer.
Oh, no.
Let's see. Lewis pleaded guilty to obstruction of justice in connection with the stabbing deaths of 2 men in 2000.
Oh, yeah.
The following season, he won the NFL Defensive Player of the Year and led the Ravens' record-setting defense to victory in Super Bowl XXXV. I don't know what Super Bowl that actually is. I'm not much of a Roman numerals guy. Do you know your Roman numerals, EZG?
He's just a bad guy.
Do you know what XXXV is?
I don't know, but it doesn't matter what Super Bowl it was, but it was years ago. He's just a bad guy.
He's a bad guy.
I think he knew who did it.
Not a fan of Ray Lewis.
No. Now he's on Dancing with the Stars. It's a joke.
Well, you know.
He used to have great stars on there. I don't know if you heard that that show used to have A stars on there, but now they've already been on the show. The show shouldn't have been canceled. It hadn't been on for a year, and I thought it would just go away.
So you're not a fan of Dancing with the Stars, is what you're saying. You used to be.
In the golden stars.
Yeah, right. In the golden era of Dancing with the Stars, you were a big fan.
I was.
But now you're
they had on the mother from Brady Bunch.
Oh, she's dead. Florence Henderson, yeah. Did she bring her Wesson cooking oil?
No. Well, she was really good.
Let's imagine her dancing around with a couple bottles of it. That'd be kind of...
but now they got They got alleged killers on that show. It's awful.
Now they got a bunch of killers. Wait, so there's...
one.
Oh, I thought you said a bunch.
Ray Lewis,
Ray Lewis, yeah.
I'm sure the family that that they get involved in that murder there. I'm sure they're not happy. I'm sure they won't be watching this Monday.
I would imagine not. Wow.
I had a big article in the USA paper about that. When they went to the Hall of Fame a couple years ago, and they were really upset.
Well,
obviously they weren't there.
There's an article from 2013 online, USA Today. Slane's not forgotten. Ray Lewis not forgiven.
Yep. I think you know who well, obviously he got in trouble for obstruction of justice, but this really didn't help or hurt his career. Went on to win a couple Super Bowls.
Bill Murphy appreciated my reference to the golden era. Yes. Back when Dancing with the Stars, remember the golden era when Dancing with the Stars, it was more about the dancing and less about the murder.
Right, and the guy running it used to be on, is a New Englander there. The guy's been on since day one there.
Tom Bergeron?
Yeah, he didn't want any politics in the show, and he was really mad. I think this is going to be his last time on there.
Oh, okay.
He's doing over his head.
Now, he hasn't murdered anyone, has he?
No, but he didn't want that guy from the politicians there. He didn't want him on.
He didn't want Sean Spicer on there.
Right. I think this is going to be his last time.
Do you think there's any risk that Sean Spicer might talk, or rather that Tom Bergeron might talk Ray Lewis into murdering Sean Spicer? That's what I would be concerned about.
I hope not.
That would be, can you imagine, though, what that would do for the rating? Dancing with the Stars would be the most highly rated show in the history of television if that happened. If they could arrange that live on the air.
I think this is going to be his last time on the show.
Like Bergeron, he pulls Ray Lewis aside and he's like, hey, can you shank Sean
hopefully
Spicer?
The ratings are in the sewer, and that will be the end of the show. And it was funny when the Moose used to sit here, and they used to argue about the Dancing with the Stars when the show first started. Peter White, the Moose.
Yeah, yes.
And the Moose said, I never watched that show, but he used to know what the dresses were, and he used to know the judges' names and who was on the show. I never watched it, though. I just happened to see the highlights.
I mean, that would be...
And then Peter would say, you do watch the show. And Moose would say, no, I don't watch the show. But he knew all the judges' names, and who was on the show, and the jolly dresses.
Yeah. But you don't think that would be a great, like a season finale? Like... Bergeron gets Ray Lewis to just while Sean Spicer's in the middle of a dance routine and Ray Lewis just kind of shanks him.
No, but you don't see O.J. Simpson on that show. His status is
O.J. is going to be on next season, I believe.
No, but remember what he said though in that book. I'm going to spend all my time looking for the real murderers.
Oh my God! You know what I just realized?
And like my friend says, he was looking in the mirror.
You know what I just realized? What if the real murderer is Ray Lewis?
So.
And OJ, this would be ratings gold. OJ shows up on Dancing with the Stars and accuses Ray Lewis, and then Tom Bergeron says, no, it's not Ray Lewis. I know who it is. It's Sean Spicer.
Yeah.
That would be a ratings bonanza, ECG.
OJ was so dumb, though.
I need to be working in network television.
He went to jail for stealing his own memorabilia with a gun.
Yes.
If he had never done that, he wouldn't have gone to jail.
I think if he had left out the gun, he probably would have been okay.
Yeah, but thankfully, we don't hear about him no more. So.
OJ? Well, we're hearing about him today. We're talking about him.
Yeah, true. It's like
he's clearly still relevant.
It's like that guy who used to sit here, Joel. He used to always talk about Pamela Smart. He thought she should get out of jail free card. But no governor that wants to keep his job is ever going to sign the get out of jail free card for Pamela Smart. Sorry.
That's true. I mean, really, yeah. Joel used to talk about, he liked talking about all kinds of stuff. The only thing he didn't like talking about was traffic.
True.
Yeah.
That was that.
Traffic is good. That's it.
Yeah, if you asked him to talk about traffic,
they replayed that old show the other day.
He'd throw his headphones and storm out. What?
They replayed that show the other day when he stormed off.
Replayed it?
Yeah, on the one of the replays there when it was on the.
Oh, I didn't realize Peter had replayed that one.
Yeah,
That's
he did.
Funny. That's funny.
On Labor Day, I think he replayed it.
Well, that was great radio.
I didn't catch the. I only caught the part where he had left the room and then Don T. Tibbers was here.
Bill Murphy says, da, 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 referring to my very exciting story arc that I came up with for Dancing with the Stars.
But it's funny, though, with the... you
have to admit, it's brilliant.
With the Pamela Smart, I think she might have got out of jail free card if she was told tell anybody that will listen, I'm sorry for what I did. Show some compassion for her, her husband that passed.
Do you think it's possible that Pamela Smart actually seduced Ray Lewis into killing
No.
Nicole Brown?
No.
Okay. I don't know. You got my wheels turning, Easy G. I'm starting to wonder about a lot of this. There might be some connections here that we've been missing.
I think my ex-wife knew Pamela Smart a little bit.
Really?
I think so. I think she told me that once.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, because she lives in Concord. And that's where my ex-wife lived her whole life.
Really?
Yeah.
Concord girl, huh?
Yeah.
Boy, those Concord girls, pretty dangerous.
Yeah.
Pam Smart, your ex-wife.
She's in New York. She's in New York prison now. She used to live in Goffstown.
Oh. She's in a New York prison?
Yep.
Why'd they transfer her there? Do you know?
I think it was just to get her out of town.
Get her out of town. Yeah.
Get her out of town.
So was your ex-wife like good friends with her? Would they hang out and talk about murdering people?
Just an acquaintance. You just saw her around.
Your ex-wife's not a murderer.
No.
Okay. That you know of.
No, that's that I know. No.
Right.
I hope not.
I mean, there is that time she tried to kill you, and that's why you divorced her, right?
No.
Okay. All right. I get these things mixed up.
Oh, boy.
Wow.
The topics we discuss.
I'm sorry, what?
I said the topics we're discussing today.
Well, I mean, we're going deep. It's a deep dive. People want to know. It's like the truth is so much more interesting than what the media presents. The media likes to present this very sanitized, whitewashed version of things, Easy G, when in reality, we got all these people out there doing all these murders.
Well, I guess if they can have Ray Lewis on the show, I guess OJ will probably be next.
Right. Well, I'd like to get them both on together because I do think there's a connection. Hey, they're both football players, Easy G.
Yeah, they always have a football player on. They had Emmett Smith on one year, and he won. So.
Emmett Smith? Now, who did he kill?
Nobody, as far as I know.
Oh, he hasn't killed anyone that you know
he used
of.
to be a great football player for the Cowboys.
Right.
When their former coach of the Cowboys used to stand at the table and goes, "How about those Cowboys?"
Yes. Well, that sounds like the actions of a murderer.
Back when they were really a great team.
Sure. Rocky Huber says, Dancing with the Stars was Easy G's best entertainment report ever. Did you just, without even realizing it, do an entertainment report just now, Easy G?
No, it was making fun of the show.
Oh, okay. Right.
It's easy to make fun of it now. It sucks.
Right. Now that the golden era of the show has passed, would you call this the silver era?
I call this the dumpster era.
The dumpster era. Well,
that's when I heard that name. I couldn't believe it.
I would be very careful. You don't want Tom Bergeron to come here and kill you.
Yeah, and a former guy from the White House too. I said, "Oh, great."
Right.
He's not a celebrity.
Sean Spicer? Well,
he was barely on there.
Oh, barely on Dancing with the Stars?
He was barely on the White House staff.
Hey, no, Sean Spicer, though, became a household name when his very first interactions with the media, his very first press briefing, when Sean Spicer came out to the podium, and phonics, Matt, and very, very firmly said, his first proclamation as press secretary, that Donald Trump's inauguration was the most watched inauguration in history, period. Just came out guns blazing, just all angry.
Really? Why was he so angry?
I think it was like a sort of pre-anger. Like he wanted to...
that was a lie, too.
He wanted to establish himself as being like the angry press secretary right off the bat.
That was a lie.
He's like, these SOBs are going to try to say that attendance was low. So I'm going to come out and say it was the most watched before they even ask a question. It was the most watched, period. I'm Sean Spicer.
I don't remember that.
Yeah. He was angry.
Yeah, it was a lie anyways.
So I've been fascinated by Paula White for a while, not the least of which, in terms of reasons, she's married to Jonathan Cain of Journey. But Paula White is one of these televangelist type preachers. And, of course, she's part of the Trump administration's. There's like a whole bunch of these people. They put their hands on Trump and he's born again and all that fun stuff. Anyway, Paula White's one of those. But she preaches, prosperity gospel and abundance and all that. And she recently, I didn't know this about Paula White, apparently she can speak in tongues. Who knew? Kind of inspired me to give it a try. Anyway, Here's the clip. We should do something kind of fun from my favorite website and hopefully yours, rightwingwatch.org. There's this individual named Paula White, and you might be familiar with her. We have talked about her on the show before. She is one of Trump's many religious advisors. Trump does have several. He's a very godly man, very godly president. And the interesting thing about Paula White is she is also married to a Mr. Jonathan Cain. And if you're not familiar with who Jonathan Cain is, he is the keyboardist and not an original member, but close, in the band Journey. In fact, that is why for the first year of doing a segment almost daily on the show that involves articles from rightwingwatch.org, I would refer to the segment as Journey into Madness, a reference to Jonathan Cain and his being married to Paula White. And Paula White, of course, is one of these prosperity gospel preachers who will tell you that just ignore the thing in the Bible where it says it is easier. What is it? It is easier for a camel to pass through the eye of a needle than a rich man to enter heaven. Don't worry about that little detail there, because God wants you to have abundance. God wants you to be rich. That's why we have to have tax cuts for the super wealthy. It's what God wants. It's God's will. So that is who Jonathan Cain is married to. And, of course, she is one of the faith advisors for the president. So according to Right Wing Watch, Trump faith advisor Paula White dedicates White House as holy ground sanctified by the superior blood of Jesus. Very, very exciting. I had no idea that this had happened. Let's hear from Paula White as she makes this proclamation. I'm sure this will be fascinating.
Merely responsible to raise and educate their children. Don't even make me get started. Deuteronomy 6 and 7, Proverbs 4:1, Ephesians 5:1, 6 through 4. Listen, it doesn't take any spirit of discernment or knowledge or wisdom to see that we have runaway generations. Opioid epidemic, suicide epidemic.
Did she say opioid? By the way, I wonder if she, how she feels. I mean, obviously she's very deeply religious, and, all these prosperity gospel preachers, I'm sure they love God even more than poor people. But DJ Midas in the Facebook live chat says, holy moly. DJ Midas, host of Late Night to Late every Saturday and Sunday night beginning at 12 midnight. I wonder what her favorite Journey song is, because I'm sure she watches her husband perform. I bet she's a big fan of that Lovin', Touchin', Squeezin'. I bet that's probably her favorite.
Sexual identity epidemic. Where do you want me to start? It's all over the place. And the problem is not the world. We can blame it on the liberal educational system that infiltrated the Ivy Leagues and go down. Listen, the bills that we fight are insane. Right now we're fighting bills in California in 3rd grade and 5th grade that they put certain things on certain vegetables and teach them how to insert them in certain parts of the anatomy.
Oh, my goodness.
In our public...
Isn't that what... Lovin', Touchin', Squeezin' by Journey is all about? I may have misunderstood the lyrics. I apologize. Oh, no, I'm thinking of Any Way You Want It. Great song, by the way. Oh, maybe I'll end with that today. That is one of my all-time favorite top 10 songs ever. Any way you want it, it's a vegetable, you put it in... Never mind.
Schools, while you're sitting here saying Jehovah Jireh, my provider, your kids are learning everything about secularism and humanism because you don't even know the stuff that they're on. You don't even realize that Snapchat was created as the largest human trafficking because the greatest people on there were human traffickers, because the FBI and because intelligence could not do it because it's live and it's real time and they can track your kid in less than a second and take them. Oh, I'm just trying to help the church be the church.
Oh, Paula, you don't have to yell. My goodness.
Because the devil's doing a darn good job And so you sit back and go, whoa, yeah, but she crazy. She up there supporting, she up there in the White House praying. You better believe I'm praying. You better believe I'm up there saying in the name of Jesus. You better believe that I'm walking around those parameters saying I lift this up and I dedicate every ounce of this place.
Where's that keyboard coming from? I don't see anybody, but all of a sudden I'm hearing some piano or something. Is Jonathan Cain of Journey there performing live? This is amazing. Maybe Paula's going to sing. Oh, I bet they're going to do a live rendition of Faithfully.
As holy ground, and I dedicate it by the superior blood of Jesus, and every door that God opens for me, I invoke the name of Jesus. I release angels right now in the Holy Spirit and walls of fire. I burn up every demonic altar in the name of Jesus, and I call it to crumble. And any assignment by any principality, power, darkness, and wickedness against this nation.
I think she's actually rapping right now, and part of why I say that is, you guys listening, you can't see the video, but she's kind of the hand motions and everything. I think she's trying to be an MC.
Against other nations is coming down in the name of Jesus. Let it all fall down. Let it crumble by the fire of God. Let it be burned right now. I erect the altar of God right now. I renounce every demonic spirit. I renounce every covenant made with Satan.
Ooh. Wow. Take a breath.
Because if you don't stand in a school system, on a playground, in a house, and you don't denounce and renounce the works of Satan and raise up an altar for God and raise up the holiness, come on, half of us are afraid to even let somebody know that we serve God. If you don't boldly stand up and proclaim who he is, the devil...
She has been watching hip-hop videos. Like, she's not actually rapping, but I'm watching the video of her talking, and she's got some of the mannerisms. I mean, she does. Oh, hello to Mike Pelopita in the Facebook live chat who says, hi, Matt. Hello, Mike. Oh, boy. I'll tell you, Paula White, she's into it. Mike says, crumble like Bolton. Yes. The crumbling walls. What did she say? Walls of fire. Isn't that an Alice Cooper song? He's a Christian. I love Alice Cooper. Oh, no, I'm thinking of House of Fire by Alice Cooper. I've got everything all mixed up.
The devil is doing a great job at taking our generations, taking our kids. They're not responsible to raise your children. Come on. They're not responsible. Don't make me start. Please don't make me start going into situations. They're not responsible. You want free education? Really? You want free health care? Really? Lyndon Johnson sent 100,000 social workers out, looked for every black pregnant woman, created a system called welfare, and drove the male out of the household and said, we're going to destroy the black community because we're going to destroy the family. When you destroy the family, you destroy the community. Well, that's true. I mean, when you destroy the family, you do destroy the community. I mean, that's hard to argue with, but I don't know about the healthcare part of it. Does anyone know what the Lord's position is on universal healthcare? I'm not clear on that. I mean, I did go to Catholic school from grade 2 to grade 8, so I know a little bit of theology. And I did always kind of get the impression that Jesus was really into, people actually caring about each other and looking after each other, which I know doesn't comport with probably the type of Christianity that Paula White ascribes to. But anyway. Or subscribes, not ascribes. Ooh, she's taking a breath. It's wrong! Oh, no. Wow, I didn't expect that. Until the righteous stand up and stop playing church and be the church, then the enemy keeps taking generations. But there is a remnant that God has raised up who is bringing forth a reformation, who says this is enough. We're taking back our children. We're taking back our community. We're advancing the kingdom of God in the name of Jesus. Now, I can see why Jonathan Cain fell in love with her, though. She's very passionate. I say that only half kidding. I do kind of like that. Hey! Whoa, what's with the scream at the end? Oh, my goodness. That seems a little uncalled for. That was like a Howard Dean moment there. I'm going to back that up a little bit. She has like a Howard Dean meltdown at the end. What's going on there? In the name of Jesus. Hey! Yikes. I love it.
The speaking in tongues. What is she saying again? I want to see if because that is such an art form, the speaking in tongues. I want to see if I can replicate what she does, but I need to hear it again. Let's see.
Hey!
Here we go. Mabala casa mama casa baka mama something. Is that what it was? I got to hear that one more time. I'm not sure I've got that quite right. I mean, I can't, look, it's not going to be perfect, but I really want to try to get this, mama casa baka, yo mama que pasa or something, pasta. I don't know. Let's hear that one more time.
Hey! Modarabaka sakatara baka sakatara.
Magada baka casa mama. I don't know. All right, here's what I'll do. I'm going to practice this tonight after the show because I really want to get that down. It's something like Bacasa, hey, mi casa, su casa, your mama. I don't know. I don't know what she's saying, but whatever it is, it's clearly important because she let out that terrible scream right before it. So obviously that was to get our attention because she had something very important to depart. I wonder, like, maybe is there a way that I could play it backward? That would be fascinating. Anyway, I'll work on that. Mike says, Dean for sure. Yes, Howard Dean. I felt very badly for Howard Dean. You're listening to the best of Matt Connarton Unleashed. And, you know, one of our favorite callers on the show, and we hear from him on a pretty regular basis, is Father Bruno Sarducci, calling all the way from the Vatican. And he had some bad news. He called this week. And apparently that Cardinal gig that he was up for, it's not happening for him. He explains why. And he blames, well, for one thing, he blames Peter White. Go figure. You'll hear who else he blames in the following clip. It's quite a tale. Poor Father Bruno. We have a call. Perhaps this is Charles Kupperman calling. Wouldn't that be great? Hi, welcome to Matt Connarton Unleashed. Who's this?
Oh, Matt, it's not Charles. This is Father Bruno.
Father Bruno, calling all the way from Rome. How are you, sir? Wonderful to hear
the
from you.
Vatican. It's not exactly Rome. You know, well, the Vatican, we're a sovereign state.
Well, yes, I realize that. I apologize, Father Bruno. I hope no offense has been taken.
No, it's no offense. It's a mistake. I understand, you know, but I've been listening to your show when I can. You know, I'm kind of busy.
Yes.
I had a very, very close call, almost like John Bolton, you know.
Oh.
I almost, lost it. My whole career as a priest.
Oh, my goodness. What happened, Father Bruno?
Well, I told you, I was up for a cardinal, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it was looking pretty good. It was looking pretty good. The Pope, he was with me 110%.
Well, that is pretty good. I can't imagine
well, you can't, you know,
what went wrong.
it's hard to get more than 100% backing by the Pope, but he was with me 110%, and it looked like I was going to get it, but it was a deadlock. You know, there was this Mexican bishop. He's in the running.
Okay, a Mexican bishop.
Yeah, Mexican bishop, but he there's a story, you know, about him. The story when he was a priest, someone come forward to make an accusation against this Mexican bishop when he was a priest.
Right. Well, that would be
pretty serious accusation that he was fondling with a little boy.
So that would be good news for you, I would think, right? I mean,
I was thinking of the same thing, Matt.
Right.
I was thinking the same thing, but you know, we got a couple of Mexican people around here, and they kind of gang up on you. You know, there was a couple of Mexican priests here in the Vatican, and they're getting very upset. They think I put somebody up spreading that dirty story.
Oh, my goodness. Well, you wouldn't make up a story just to beat the bishop and get that job as cardinal. You wouldn't do that.
Nothing to do with it, Matt. I had nothing to do with it because I'm thinking I'm going to sail into this. It's going to be clear sailing, is going to be perfect for me.
Yes.
Cardinal Sarducci.
Yes. Does have a nice ring to it.
A big promotion, but you know what? There's a Mexican. Trump is right about the Mexicans. You can't trust them.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, no.
You can't trust them, and they are stabbing me in the back.
Wow.
And you know what they did? I used to train some of the brothers, for the special meals. The banquet here in the Vatican. The Pope presides. You understand, right?
I do, yes, of course.
Well, big dinner, So I was a pastry chef. They sent me. They get training, so I'm making the pastries. And some Mexican priest said that he saw me making a pastry in the shape of a penis.
Well, that's...
Can you imagine? I mean, it's completely made up. I never did that.
Right.
And so this has come out in an interview with all the bishops and the cardinals, and people are going to be voting. They want to know, was I making a pastry in the shape of a penis?
Right. I don't think you would do that, Father. I don't think you.
Of course, I wouldn't do it.
I don't think you could even.
Maybe they saw me making cannoli. I'm good. I'm good with the cannoli. I make a good cannoli.
Sure.
And I don't know what happened, but all of a sudden I'm about to break the deadlock. The Mexican, he's gone, rapist, just like Trump said, and now boom, nothing. Not in the running anymore. I lost it.
Oh, you're out. So the Pope.
I'm out.
So the Pope.
I'm out. I was right on the verge of being the cardinal, and now I'm stuck in this job, getting the clothes ready for the Pope.
Well, that's still a good gig, though, right? I mean,
yeah, but I'm shining his shoes. It's a little humiliating. Shining the Pope's shoes. Sometimes he makes me shine them when they're on. People in the room. I got to shine his shoes. I'm a priest. I'm not a shoe shiner. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Well, have you discussed that with the Pope?
No, you can't talk about that. You got to do what he says. It's all top down here. You know what I'm saying? It's not a democracy in the Vatican.
He is infallible. What else can you do? I guess.
Well, you can't. You can't. There's people around. What am I going to say? Pope Francis, I'm not going to shine your shoes.
Right.
This is demeaning. This is humiliating. I can't say that.
No. Of course not.
It'd be insulting the Pope. It'd be like you insulting Donald Trump, which you would never do.
No, I try not to. I try not to.
Oh, yeah, he's the president of the United States. You got to give him respect.
That's right. You have to respect the office. Yes, of course. Well,
yeah, I've been noticing there's been some the Democrats. They are pure evil.
Oh.
They're spreading all these lies about the Donald. About military aircraft landing at his airport. It's ridiculous.
Well,
never happened. It's a made-up story.
Right.
Tell Trump he don't own no airport.
Right. No, I don't believe he owns an airport. I'm sure that someday he'll have an airport named after him. Maybe what is it, Reagan National Airport? We can rename, or the JFK Airport. We can rename that the Donald Trump Airport.
Why not?
That's what
Donald
I'm saying.
Trump, he's got his own plane. How many presidents? Before he became a president, he had his own plane.
Right. Yes.
I think it might have been even bigger than Air Force One.
I think it probably was. Yes.
Oh, it was huge. I'm sure I've seen pictures of it, and his own helicopter. It wasn't much of a change for him to become president of the United States. So he gets his own helicopter as president. Not quite as good as the Trump helicopter. There's no gold.
Right.
Inside the controls on the handles, like in the Trump helicopter, but I'm sure it's nice, and he's got the bodyguards keeping an eye on him so that nobody hurts the president of the United States. And considering the vicious lies spread about the president of the United States, I'm amazed that nobody has tried to hurt this guy.
Well, he is, of course, as I believe you have pointed out, he was anointed by God to be president, and you don't want to mess with the big guy. If you mess with Trump, you're messing with the big guy. Am I right, Father Bruno?
Well, I don't know that for sure.
Oh.
I don't know that President Trump was sanctified by God or even his only begotten Son, Jesus Christ.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, Trump is, you would agree he is the most godly president that we've had.
Well, he's perceived, it's all perception. There's the same with the Catholic Church. There's the reality and there's the perception. We work on the perception very hard.
Yes.
And we try to make that perception comport with our dogma and our doctrine. And
Yes.
I think Donald Trump, he does the same thing as he's making America great.
Yes.
I mean, look at the economy. Well, what an economy. The best economy in 1,000 years in America. Donald Trump. We got to give him credit for that.
That's not technically true, Father. If you look at, actually, the economy has been slowing down under Trump. The economy was excellent at the end of the Obama administration, but I think you would probably agree, Obama.
Oh, yeah. Well, where did you read that? You read that in the Amazon Washington Post that the economy's slowing down, or maybe you read it in the failing New York Times. You probably have a subscription.
Well, is there something wrong with the failing New York Times, Father? Is there something?
Well, if you love lies, you love the failing New York Times.
Oh, okay.
You want to hear the truth, you got to go to a better paper. There's another Washington paper. I forget the name. They got the truth in their paper. Or Fox News. Fox News will tell you the truth.
Yes, of course. Yes.
But listen, Matt. You know what I told you about how I got knocked out. About the story. It's
Yes.
just between you and me, right? It's not going anywhere, right?
Right. It's just us talking, Father Bruno.
Yeah, we're just talking, and I'm just telling you what happened. I mean, it's a fake story. I did everything I could, but the Pope has said he can't help it. There's just any whiff of scandal. He said maybe next time they forget all about this, or we'll track the rumor down, and we'll find out who's lying about you. Because the Pope, he knows me a long time.
Well,
he knows when I make a cannoli, it looks like a cannoli. It don't look like a penis.
Right. Just like Carvel. But so that's encouraging, Father. There will be other opportunities for you. That's good,
yeah,
right?
But I'm a little worried about Mr. Bolton. You call him the mustache. I'm a little worried about him because he had a good job. He wasn't there too long, But what happened? I mean, why is he gone? I don't understand. He and Trump were on the same page, right?
I don't know if they were ever quite on the same page, Father. John Bolton and his very frightening mustache, very pro-war. And I don't think President Trump particularly wants to get us into any more global conflicts.
Well, why not?
Well, I don't think he's a big war guy, whereas John Bolton certainly is. What is the Vatican's position on war, Father Bruno?
Officially, we're against it.
Right.
But we got a faction here that they promote the war, and in some ways, America is like the Vatican. We're always talking about peace.
Yes.
Yeah, but I got to tell you, the Catholics are no stranger to violence.
Well,
we know how to fight.
Right. Well, you had said some things in a previous call. You were talking about Peter White, and you were saying some things that sounded a little potentially violent. Some of what you were hinting at.
Well, no, I would never get violent with Peter White.
No.
I don't take him that serious,
Oh.
But, thinking about it, I wonder if Peter White called the Vatican, called those Mexicans, and told them to try to sink my nomination. You think he did that? There
could have been some collusion between Peter White and the bishop there.
You cannot trust that Peter White, he don't like the priest.
That's true.
And he called me a creepy priest behind my back.
That is true. That is true. So I think his credibility can be called into question.
Yeah, well, I hope you won't have him on your show again because, it makes me so mad the way he talks about the Catholics and the priests. He's got a dirty mouth. It needs to be washed out with salt.
Oh my goodness! I don't think they actually. I don't think they do that anymore, Father. At least not to a grown man.
We do it in the Vatican. We do it here. It's still a very good learning tool. It's not the waterboarding, something like that.
Yes.
But it's unpleasant,
Right, of
Nobody
course.
wants lye in their mouth.
What about holy water? Do you use holy water to wash out someone's mouth?
Well, we don't reward the people with holy water exactly, especially if we're punishing them. They don't get the holy water, they don't get the wafer, they get a lot of Hail Marys.
Oh, I see. But
like a billion Hail Marys for breaking a religious law. And so sometimes they're reciting that for many years, and we only give them one meal a day.
Did you say a billion?
But listen, I'm not going to take up any of your time anymore. I know you got a lot of news to deliver to your listeners.
Yes.
I just want to tell you, that thing didn't work out for me with the cardinal job. I was very disappointed, and those Mexicans are stabbing me in the back, because to get even, because they think I did something, but I didn't. Didn't do anything. It's all a lie. It's a made-up story. Fake.
I believe you, Father Bruno. Before you go, you never remember to plug your show on Vatican Radio.
Oh, yeah. Get the Right with Jesus. Actually, it's off the air temporarily.
Oh, no.
It's just temporary. And I'm now trying to negotiate a TV program called The Get Right with Jesus.
Oh, very nice. Well,
I like the TV program better because I'm pretty good on the air,
Yes.
I'm quick on my feet. It was really in preparation because, I go from black to red.
Whoa, what do you mean?
Well, it's the cardinal job, but I didn't get it. So now things are kind of up in the air, about my radio show, which is temporarily canceled. But
well,
I'm hoping I can make the TV thing work.
Yes,
it's good. You have special guests, have religious figures on, interview them, and then open it up for the questions on the phone. Talking about Jesus, it's a good subject, and people really need to get right with Jesus.
Yes. Well,
you too, Matt. You need to get right with Jesus. Okay?
Well, I'll do what I can, Father Bruno.
You make sure you get right with Jesus by the next time I call. Okay?
I'm going to try. I will make that a goal, Father Bruno.
Okay. Thank you very, very much. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye, Father. Bye-bye. All right, there you have it, Father Bruno Sarducci. Of course, I believe he is the nephew of Father Guido Sarducci, and I do feel genuinely very badly about what happened. It sounds like he's been set up. I don't particularly believe, though, that Peter White colluded with a Mexican bishop to try to take down Father Bruno. I just don't think Peter is capable of that kind of malevolence, quite honestly. Peter White, of course, of The Morning Show with Peter White. You're listening to the best of Matt Connarton Unleashed. Remember, the show is live weekdays from 4 to 6 p.m. I should say 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern for those of you listening online. And we do have a large audience of online listeners from, actually all over North America, I suppose. Not only in the United States, but Canada as well. Very happy and grateful for that. We're going to play technically two separate clips, but we're going to play them right in a row for you in succession because they are related. The first is a discussion John Hopwood and I had with Mikey Weinstein, who is calling into the show again to talk about the VA Bible controversy. And then the next clip after that is a discussion that John Hopwood gets into on the air with Mike Doyle, who you can frequently hear on the morning show, and that got pretty heated. Actually, it was quite the argument, and we do so love a good argument on Matt Connarton Unleashed. It does make for spectacular radio. So we're going to play those two clips right in a row for you And here they are. Well, okay, so we'll start this email over. So if you're just joining us, we're reading.
I'm starting to get crotch itch. You think that's the God's will, or just my shorts have binded up?
You literally just announced that to the world.
Woo!
That you have crotch itch.
Maybe Easy G left something behind. You know, he did work at Dreamland.
I don't know. I worry about catching something from sitting in this.
Well, they didn't have a cropper in Dreamland, did they?
I mean, I sit in the same chair that Peter White uses, and
I definitely I have herpes.
So I worry.
Herpes?
I worry about that.
I'm not tall enough to see whether he does wear a toupee.
No, I believe that's his real hair.
Why is he saying he wears a hairpiece?
No, that's not what he's saying. Okay, I'll play it again. Listen carefully.
I definitely I have hepatitis.
I don't know how you get a hairpiece from that. He's clearly saying hepatitis.
I guess you're right.
Yeah.
I definitely I have
swamp ass.
He has all kinds of things going on.
Maybe I've got swamp ass, but it feels more.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I definitely
old package.
Osteoporosis.
So these are.
Glenn has a very sharply defined nose. It's got many different angles.
What?
Well, I'm a writer. I notice these things.
What about your nose? What? Your nose?
Glenn, R.J. Olette, the people's mayor.
We can't.
I heard him talking. He's coming down the elevator. You can hear him talking.
Yeah.
And I introduced somebody I didn't know. Oh, that's Glenn. Who's the door's about to open? That's Glenn, R.J. Olette, the people's mayor.
That's right.
Yep. She got right on that elevator, hit the button, and sailed her way up towards heaven.
Where else?
Yeah. Where Glenn had just come down from.
So, well, no, Glenn.
Talking about
never mind.
public crappers.
All right. We're not supposed to talk about Glenn when he's not here. It gets me spoken to. And Peter as well. Okay, so.
You can't talk about Peter?
No. I mean, it gets Peter spoken to.
Oh, but we can talk about Peter.
We can, no. Well, I mean, we can.
We talk about Peter's Peter?
It's okay. No.
He did say it's swamp ass.
Right. Well, he's.
And a hairpiece.
Why are you making fun of him for sharing personal information on the.
I just feel very compassionate for a person that tall who has to have a hairpiece. How many people can even see the top of his head?
He shares personal information about EZG, which I don't think is right
EZG
either.
wears a bra right under his tank top.
But it's very discreet.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, you saw EZG was here the other day. Everything was all hanging out all over the place. Okay.
Jesus, yeah.
I know, right?
Christ Jesus.
That was kind of hot.
Let's say it. How do I know? The Bible told me so.
Told me so. So if you're just joining us, so these are emails.
Dramatic reading from Maddie.
Yes, of emails sent to emails from great Christians.
The finest.
Walking the path of the Lord.
Straight is the gate, narrow's the path.
Yes.
Oh.
That they have sent to Mikey Weinstein, who is from the
Military Religious Freedom Foundation, a graduate of the U.S. Military Academy, the Air Force Academy in Colorado Springs, a former officer, a veteran,
mm-hmm.
and according to these Christians, a satanic Jew.
Yes. So that's Mikey Weinstein, and so these are emails from these great Christians to Mikey Weinstein, sharing their own concerns about the position that he has taken about the Bible.
Because he is the head, he's a lawyer.
Yes.
And there has been, ever since I've been in the military, a problem with evangelical Christians proselytizing and trying to get you to go to church or pressuring you to come to events, whatever they do at these things. Kind of like these radical, it's that they're always bitch about, but we won't go there. But they're always, and that they discriminate against people who are not of their persuasion.
Right.
And that is a very real thing. It's been documented.
Right. And that's a violation of the Establishment Clause of the Constitution.
Of the Constitution.
Yes. Separation of church and state. Yeah. Okay, so here's the next, here's our next email. And we started this one before the break, but we'll start this over. So this is from Mary TQ.
Mary TQ.
And the subject line is Jews and Manchester VA POWMIA table. Dear Mr. Weinstein, my husband, family, and me live in the general area around Manchester, New Hampshire, where your anti-Christian MMFR organization is attacking the Holy Bible at the VA Medical Hospital here. Our church had its weekly Wednesday evening services last night, and everyone was of the same mind about you and your villainy. We all know that you're Jewish, and we all agreed that if it had been a Jew book on the POW-MIA table, you would never have attacked. So be honest about it, because you and your org just hate anything that is Christian. We may not know you personally, but most Jews we've known also hate anything Christian. Too bad for you, that Bible will stay. Go find another display to put your Jew books on and leave us Christians alone with our Lord at the VA.
You mean Donald Trump?
Well, I would assume yes.
Because wasn't Jesus Jewish?
Right. Yes.
He died, he was Jewish.
But Trump is a true Christian. He is a Presbyterian.
Don't attack Presbyterian.
I'm not. What attack? I'm saying that's why Trump is. He's the chosen one. He's a Presbyterian.
He was born again on the campaign trail in 2016.
Oh, I saw all the people putting their hands on him.
You reported that on your television show.
Yes, I did.
Yes, you did. It
was a great day.
The one that got canceled.
It was a great day.
Got canceled along with the Phil Boyd Stud show. I remember.
It was a bloodbath at the network.
Yeah, they had to free up space.
It says, P.S. And another thing, Mr. Weinstein. If you tally up those soldiers who have died in our wars for Memorial Day, you will easily see that so many more who follow Christ have perished than those who deny him like you Jews do, and the communists and Arabs.
Well, I don't think you can deny that, can you, Matt? That's just common sense. And it's an expression of Christian love.
Ignorance? You're soaking in it. Where's Madge when we need her, huh? And I don't mean Madonna. You should be deported back to Israel.
Send him back!
Jesus. You should be deported back to Israel.
Which he's not from.
And lose your citizenship for good.
They should loosen
Good riddance.
Here's a former officer, the commission signed by the President of the United States, who went to a military academy, a great privilege. And his two sons did, where he experienced anti-Semitism, according to the article Carol Robideau wrote, based on an interview with him, and Northeast POW-MIA network head Bob Jones, who basically said the reason he's doing it is because he was an angry Jew, because he and his sons experienced anti-Semitism, because they went to the academy too.
Yeah.
I believe. I know they were officers in the Air Force also.
So it's
great. This is a great expression of Christianity. We
Yes.
ought to invite Mikey Don here on the pretext of supporting him and let them have a go.
Right, yes.
We can provide the cross, gasoline, some rags.
Sure. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
We have a regular Charlottesville here.
So we have a great response to her from Larry W., which I'll read. Now, who is Larry W.? Do you know?
No, I don't.
Okay. So this is because you got these. Mikey sent you these directly, right? He forwarded these emails to you.
But I was just printing them out. This has been over like a series of months.
Right.
And
well, whoever this Larry W. is wrote a great response. But he's probably a member of the organization.
Oh, that's why Larry
MMFR.
W. ends at the beginning.
Right. Yeah. I figured it out. So I'll read his response.
He's either an MRFF board member or a member of the foundation, which is primarily it's veterans, and most of them are Christian. Of the 15 people suing, I think 13 of them are Christian, and the lead litigant is a devout Christian.
Yeah.
It's just offended by the, it could be to him idolatry or just,
right.
or vulgarity, or he believes in the Constitution.
Right, exactly. They're Christians, but they believe in the separation of church and state.
And not every evangelical Christian is a nasty,
right? Of course,
knucklehead.
I mean, that's part of why we're reading these is the absurdity of these people like Mary TQ, who apparently is from Manchester and could be listening right now.
And a lot of evangelical Christians are not anti-Semitic at all.
Right, of course.
They're very philo-Semitic.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
but yet you read these. I mean, this is Christianity, right?
So this is Larry W.'s response.
Oh, you're not about to read the F-bombing one.
Not yet. We'll get to it. I mean, obviously,
Are you ready for your 2-week suspension?
Well, no, I'll have to self-censor as I read it, which I'm good at.
Well, when I become alderman at large, I can say anything I want.
Oh, excellent.
On the street corner.
So Larry wrote back, Miss Mary TQ, forgive me for writing Mary TQ in the salutation, but I have nothing else from you to use.
He might be a general. I think he's
really?
a brigadier general. There's a couple brigadier generals on the board.
Oh, okay.
But I'm not sure if Larry's one of them.
Like most people who put their ignorance on display, the connection of that ignorance with identifying features is usually not done. So I have to use the Mary TQ, all that you have given me. But unlike you, I will give you my full name and credentials. Oh, here we go. I am a veteran of the United States Army of 31 years. My name is Larry Wilkerson. I served in combat, and originally I was an enlisted man, having volunteered for military service in 1966.
I've heard of his name, this guy, Larry Wilkerson.
I dedicated much of my life to protecting the freedoms that you have enjoyed as a citizen. After my military service, I continued to serve our country for another 5 years in a civilian capacity. Then I moved to a university to teach younger people about history, government, and politics. That's where I am today as I write to you. Let me take a few moments and reveal your lack of knowledge to you. First, the Military Religious Freedom Foundation, MRFF, is not an anti-Christian organization. In fact, more than 90% of its more than 60,000 clients are Christians. Yes, there are others as well, Jews, Muslims, atheists, agnostics, and so on. What unites all of these people is a strong belief in the U.S. Constitution. That Constitution prohibits the creation of a state religion or any favoritism of the state for a particular religion. In other words, the Constitution holds that all religions are welcome here or no religion at all. The state must take no sides. When the state does take a side, for Christians, for example, the state is wrong and must be corrected. This is what the Christian Bible at a state-sponsored display does. It takes a side. That is wrong. Second,
It establishes religion.
Right.
Yeah.
Second, I am deeply sorry that everyone was of the same mind, quote unquote, at your church, because that means everyone at that church is ignorant. America does not need so many ignorant people. It is very dangerous to have so many ignorant people. And by the way, a Jewish religious text or a Muslim religious text or a text on atheism would have been just as wrong and just as violative as the Constitution, as a Christian Bible. And no, we at MRFF would not have been for any of those texts either. And that brings me to another crucial point. Your anti-Semitism shows very strongly in your email. Anti-Semitism is appalling and far worse than just plain ignorance. You need to work on that badly. You can go to jail for that, and frankly, the tens of thousands of deaths in World War II were partly to stop anti-Semitism, so you should be deeply ashamed. Well, agreed. And by the way, Jewish Americans fought in proportionate numbers to Christian Americans in that war, so again, you are dead wrong and displaying your ignorance once more. And your Lord, quote unquote, does not belong at the VA because it is a government agency. Chaplains can offer solace and religious counsel there and support for patients and so forth, but there can be no official endorsement of any God or any religion by the VA. As I said, that is forbidden by the Constitution. Moreover, you must not know many Jewish Americans. I know hundreds of them. I don't know a single one, however, who, quote, hates anything Christian. In fact, some of these people are dear friends and have great respect for my religion. Jesus Christ, after all, was a Jew, as were all of his disciples. Muslims have enormous respect for Jesus Christ and place him among the top prophets of his times.
That's right.
Finally, your Christianity is as suspect as your knowledge. Jesus Christ wiped the feet of a female prostitute, threw the moneylenders from the temple, stood for turning the other cheek when offended, and was the very consummation of love. You, on the other hand, are the consummation of ignorance and hate. There's one more part. I think you are what I call a wannabe Christian. In your heart, you are tortured and racked by doubt and hate. In your heart, you are a fearful person who takes out her fear and hate of herself on others. I feel Christian sorry for you. I truly do. Signed, Larry W.
Oh, that sums it up very well.
Yeah, it does. Bravo to Larry Wilkerson. That is a phenomenal email in response to the incredibly ignorant and I would guess probably inbred Mary TQ. That wasn't very Christian of me to say. I'm sorry.
When were Yetis converted?
That's a sore subject. Actually, Yetis are also Presbyterian, if you must know.
My grandmother was a Presbyterian.
Was she?
Was she? Yes, she was. She converted, though.
Now, how do Presbyterians?
From Presbyterian.
What's the deal with Presbyterians?
The church is Presbyterian. I go there occasionally. That was the church my father was in.
Do Presbyterians do communion?
No, we never got around to that. There's hardly anybody there anymore. They built a big evangelical Christian church on the other side, and that's flourishing. Have you ever noticed evangelical churches are popping up in this city like mushrooms?
Are they?
After a tremendous rainy season. I was going to use another metaphor, but I didn't.
Well, you know, we are the least church-going state in the country, which actually surprised me when I first learned that.
Yes, but they're learning from the Free Staters because of this ridiculous New Hampshire primary. They can get power. In 2012, when Michelle Bachmann and her glorious husband, Mr. Macho, were here to
yes.
Try to win the Republican nomination.
Marcus Bachmann, gay conversion therapist. Yes.
Yeah. And leading the good fight.
Yeah, oh, yes.
And
what a guy. What a guy.
I guess, let's not get into that. But she actually put out a paper, her own paper. I saw it up in Goffstown at the Hannaford there. But I was covering that campaign. I broke a story about Rick Santorum. And I just want to say, they said at the time, there's just hardly any evangelical base, so she's not going to get any traction. But it's just exploding. It's kind of like Free Staters. There's less than, their weight.
It's been bubbling underneath. Hi, welcome to Matt Connarton Unleashed. Who's this?
Hey, Matt, Mike Doyle.
Mike Doyle, how are you, sir?
Good, how you doing? Hey, good news. I'm down at my daughter's, she coaches Memorial Field Hockey, and I'm sitting here in Wyndham High School watching the game, and I'm listening to you on the show. I didn't think you guys reached that far.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's pretty good.
I get him in Massachusetts on 3.
Our reach is far and wide.
Well, it seems like in the Derry, I was driving down the road, it seems like around Derry, you start to lose the signal a little bit, but the high school is kind of raised up here, so maybe that's why. But but the main reason for my call is, again, I mentioned this last week when I called. Don't you think that there's a little bit of overkill on this Bible thing?
No.
Don't you think the crux of the whole theory was that the VA will allow anybody who comes in there to work whatever religion they want to believe in? I think that was the whole understanding of the people are just turning it into this Bible and Catholic, and I think the bottom message was no religion is going to be exempt from coming into the VA for somebody who fought for this country and is in the VA. Yeah.
Then
that's my take on it. But
why did they remove the other text then from the table? There was a
who cares? Who cares? The bottom line is,
I care.
You just make.
Listen to me. I'm a veteran.
I sent this to Matt the other day, and I kind of knew he wouldn't play it. But
I care.
How about? Let me give you a couple of things for real discussion. How about great new employment numbers for the last quarter?
No, let's go back to what you just said, Mike.
How about the roaring economy? How about the stock market coming back after the fake recession talk from the left?
Let's talk about the issue you just talked about.
Unemployment staying at 3.7 across the board at all levels.
Let's talk about a president that is a liar, a fantasist, and a vice president.
What's that have to do with what I just said?
A vice president that lied about a provenance of this Bible in order to justify that being put back. You're talking about liars.
I wasn't talking about Trump.
You know what
I was talking about the economy.
You know what honor is, Mike? Did you ever step? Did you ever step?
You have Trump disorder.
Did you ever step up?
You hate the man so much that you can't realize that what he's doing as a businessman is making this country run at a pretty good clip.
He's a marketing hustler. I've known about since 1984. He's the equivalent of a siding salesman. Even they're more honest than this ass. But did you ever step up to the line and take an oath to defend the Constitution of the United States and the country? Did you?
No. What does that have to do with anything?
Because I did. I know people that I have to live every day of my life because I did that in pain, and I have memories. Are
you a veteran?
Jesus, what do you think? What do you think I wear on a hat?
Who's
all
done
this
more
time
for veterans than any
I'm
other
a
president?
disabled veteran. I have to go up there. I have to go up there. I have to be offended by that.
And if you don't get proper service, can you go somewhere else?
That's my right, Mike. I won that. I won that with my pain. I did it in a way your hero, a 4F, never could do.
He made it so you could do that, my friend.
He didn't serve his country, did he? There's men up there that friggin' you don't know the horrors they went through. You don't know.
What does that have to do with anything?
What is that?
I'm not arguing that.
How can you say that? You're talking about the Veterans Administration. You dare talk about that and trivialize it? That's an insult. I was up there after the massacre in Quebec, there were people given free license to make anti-Muslim comments up there, and I objected, vociferously. Matt knows about what I went through.
This is what and we're having a conversation.
No, you're not having
a
conversation.
When people are psychotic like you. You want me to
veterans. Do you want me to like your pal Gatsis to sue you?
Trivialize the
How dare you
I
say
never did
that?
anything of the sort.
Listen, buddy.
But you
shut
guys
up.
think that if you just yell it out, it's true.
How dare you say that to me?
The veterans or
You've never sacrificed. Have you ever made any sacrifice, Mike?
That's your lean-to.
What's your sacrifice for the country?
Yell it into the mic, and it's true.
Because you're offensive.
That's how it works with you.
You're ignorant. You're ignorant. You're ignorant. You have no right to say what you did about me. Come and say that to my face.
I'll say it anytime to your
Come
face.
up and say it to my face.
What does that have to do with anything? My father was a veteran. He died in the VA hospital because they misdiagnosed he had a bleeding ulcer, and they told him he had hemorrhoids. He died 2 days later when we brought him to the Elliott Hospital. I'm not saying anything bad about that. The veterans try the best they can. What I was saying was Trump did a lot for the veterans. I don't know why.
What has Trump done for the veterans? What's Trump done for veterans?
Into the microphone.
What's
what
Trump
did I do
done
to
for
trivialize the veterans? Explain
What's Trump done for veterans? Tell me. Tell me what he's done for veterans. Tell me.
Just answer my question.
Tell me what he's done, mister.
Your way to answer the question is to yell in the microphone, and that makes it
Why
true.
shouldn't I yell when somebody so ignorant is going to tell me what's going on up there?
I'm not telling you what's going on up there. I didn't say anything about that.
You know, Mike,
so there
I
you go
am
again,
a journalist.
making up stuff. Fake news.
I'm
there
a journalist. You have Mike, you don't know what the truth is. You're so bizarre.
I'm not telling you what's going on up there. You just said I did. What did I tell you? Nothing. I'm not saying that. All I said was Trump
you just said that Trump is doing all sorts of stuff for veterans.
And their medical
What has he been doing?
That's all I said.
What's he doing, Mike? You know more than I do about veterans issues.
VA,
Tell me.
And I'm going to yell at you because you trivialize. What are you talking about?
You just said. You trivialize. Mike, you are a Trumpite to the very soul. He mirrors you. You're incapable of friggin' arguing about anything. You trivialize the Bible, and then now you're pretending you didn't. Something that shouldn't be up there.
How did I trivialize the Bible?
Mike, you're a person, my father, who was a siding salesman, would say, you have to go back to Genesis to explain everything.
Go along to have your argument.
No, Mike, you're an ignorant person. How dare you call me a psychotic? I could sue you for that. Do you understand that?
Okay, all right. Yeah, sue me.
You think I can't? Why shouldn't I? That's what you have to deal with. That's Trump ignorance, you know?
I know. You can't answer one question. You can't answer one question. All you can do is yell on the phone.
Buddy, why don't you ever shut up?
I'm a Trumpite and this. How did I trivialize the veterans by saying Trump has helped the veterans with some of his legislature? How did I trivialize the veterans?
With his legislature? What does he carry around a legislature on his back?
No. See, I mean, you
Tell
can't
me what
answer
he
the question.
did. Tell me what he did,
no
mister.
answer,
You know
'cause
more
you're
than
wrong.
I do about veterans. You know more about the Bible than I do.
Just because you're a
Tell me.
veteran doesn't mean you're right, my friend.
Yeah, I know more about being a veteran than you can ever dream of. Could you imagine that in your life?
Nobody said any differently. Nobody's arguing with it.
Could you ever imagine in your life that I might know more about what it's like to be a veteran? What it's like to be forced to go to chapel when I'm in basic training, to be discriminated against?
Who said that? Where'd you hear that?
Mike, come on. You play these rhetorical games. It's all
What do you mean,
the type
rhetorical?
of games.
Did
It's
I
called
say anything about you being a
rope-a-dope.
veteran?
You're a rubber band man. Oh, who cares about the Bible?
You're
up
unbelievable.
there? No, Mike.
You're the problem, man. You're the problem.
You're the problem, Mike. Because you
make it up as
worship
you go along.
You worship a hate monger. You worship a
I don't
hate
worship
monger
anybody.
that lies. Yes,
I don't
it's
worship
a cult.
anybody. So
You
I don't know what
belong
you're
to
talking
a
about
Trump
again.
cult.
Another lie.
You belong to a Trump
They
cult.
just keep coming at you one after another.
You belong to a Trump cult.
I don't worship anything.
Yes,
I
you
hate
do.
some of the stuff Trump says.
Oh, well, let's hear
I
it. What do you
despise some of the
hate
things
it?
he says. I'm like,
Let's hear it. Tell us that.
But his actions are different than his words, my friend. That's all I can tell you.
Oh, yeah.
You guys just don't want to talk about the economy, the stock market, the unemployment, everything that's
You
ripping.
mean the
Everybody's
Obama
working.
economy he
Everybody's
inherited?
happy. People have money.
The Obama
But no,
economy
you don't want
he
to talk about that.
inherited.
You want to talk about a Bible.
Why don't you
and
shut up?
How trivial it is, or Sharpie.
Look what he just said.
And how
you see what he says?
There was no possibility that storm was going to go through Florida.
You're an offensive
original
person.
drawings showing it could have gone right through Florida.
Oh yeah,
and
Mike,
gone into the Gulf,
where
it would
you
seek
live in a
warmer
fantasy
water,
land.
and then at that point, possibly it could hit Alabama.
Mike, you live in a fantasy land that this guy, you're just enthralled to him, and you just trivialized what you said about the Bible again. Somebody could get killed up there, Mike. Do you understand that?
I'm not saying.
Do you understand that somebody could get killed
about?
by these evangelical nuts? Did you listen to any of the show? You satanic Jews and stuff. When I was doing an interview up there, a guy, I left it out of the article for Carol. He says, I got a gun in my car. And they're there. He knew all about this stuff. He's got Christian tapes talking about this various stuff. When I worked against that
anti-Muslim, make that guy normal that he's got a gun in his car.
When I had that, Mike, you never have done any. You've never put your ass on the line anything except maybe at a betting on a horse.
What does that have to do with anything?
Because you don't know what it's like to be a soldier. You don't know what it's like to be a veteran. You don't know what it's like to be in harm's way.
My father fought in the Korean War.
Your father makes you a veteran.
I didn't have that opportunity, but
he makes you a veteran.
I have family members that were in the war.
So that makes you a veteran.
I have a good friend. One of our best friends' son is still over in Iraq.
It's osmosis, right? It's osmosis. You're probably why don't we combat veteran? We can give you a Medal of Honor just like Donald Trump, right? Donald Trump's a great war hero, right? I'm listening to you. You know, Mike, because I live in Manchester, New Hampshire with people of, this is ignorance. You're ignorant.
Yeah, yeah. You just don't want to talk about facts. That's all.
What? No, I'm talking about
every now and again.
I'm a veteran. Does that get through your head?
Instead of your meandering, that the whole world should listen to you because you're a veteran.
No, Mike, I said I'm a veteran. I know what it's like to be forced to go to a Christian ceremony. I know what it's like because I'm the person I am, to stand up when me and my Jewish buddy we're going to be going to an Easter service.
I'm sure Matt wants to get on with the show. Poppy, thanks for fighting for us. I appreciate your spending your time in the war and for the freedom that we now live and my family lives.
I wasn't in a war,
Thank you very
Mike.
much. See you later.
All right, Mike. Thank you for the call.
Jesus Christ! This is the thing.
Oh boy.
I mean, this is the Trump cult. I mean, you hear the crap. A Bible. That's the whole. This guy, Trump. He's a born again Christian. He doesn't even know anything about the Bible. This is all a thing, in my opinion, based on lies, to create a potential Charlottesville-like situation. Here I'm a journalist. When I was doing the stuff against that bigot, the anti-Muslim bigot, everybody knows that it was me, and the guy got fired.
Yeah,
I have to hear that. I tried to do a project with veterans up there. No, he's a communist, a journalist. What does Trump do? Why don't you bash the journalists? Why don't you hit them? All that stuff. So here's Mike talking about this. I'm writing about this. Mike, a guy who's never put his ass on the line for anything, except, the $2 window. And, I'm exaggerating and stuff. but hyperbole.
Yeah.
And here I am up there. People, it's not inconceivable that somebody could get killed up there. They're making this is New Hampshire. This is the first in the nation primary. That jackass, who I say is Pat Sajak, not Hitler, is is here at that rally, religious freedom. He brings that up.
Right.
This is a thing they're going to use in the campaign. And I think it's obscene. Not one presidential candidate's talking about this. The right-wing media, Washington Examiner's all over it. Right-wing newspapers and everything carry this story. But that's not just offensive to me and triggering. It's an obscenity. But my life's in danger because of that. And because of this president that Mike worships like the risen Christ. Hyperbole again.
Yes.
But there is a cult aspect to this. I could get shot up there or something. That's something I have to live with. But, that's something I choose to do. I got sued by a prominent official. We don't talk about stuff like that because I got the guts to do something. I mean, and Mikey Weinstein, we're just reading this. He's had death threats.
Oh,
sure.
yeah.
These are people that run around with guns. There's a Christian at on this station that has had people on his show, and you were on it too, that took up arms against the United States in Oregon.
Yes.
Yes. There are people associated with this and he said that God saved them from a hail of 144 bullets. There are people willing to take up arms and talk about killing people. And let me remind you, in Manchester, New Hampshire, David Irving, the #1 Holocaust denier in the entire world, came here. I guess annually when he made his trips to spew his bilge about, Hitler was wonderful and wasn't responsible for the Holocaust. And what did he say? Oh, those doors that they say were on the death factory, the gas, where they gas people, like at Treblinka and Auschwitz. Well, those were actually just doors used for gas chambers in case the United States and Britain, drop gas bombs. This is the type of stuff a once respectable historian who later on you look at the history. This is what people have to deal with.
Yeah.
I remember breaking, because I used to be able to get into the dark web, the story where armed right-wingers were going to go to an Gabby Giffords, to confront her with loaded automatic weapons. I passed that information on, and they moved it into another thing.
Yeah.
But, there's an active culture here.
Yeah.
They sell sniper rifles in this state. Sniper rifles, where you can kill somebody a mile out. You really need a sniper rifle, right? You need silencers.
What is the status of silencers legally?
You tell me. You know more people on that side than I do.
I do, but I'm not sure where that sits currently. I don't think you can get them, but I'm not sure.
And to think that Bible, that is how.
Yeah.
Hitler, I'm not talking about Trump. Trump was Pat Sajak, but Pence. Pence is a nasty number. He's a very nasty number, and he's aligned with these militant Christians. I'm not going to have my family, forced on me. I'm not going to have Jews insulted, Muslims and that. That's not what I suffered for when I took the oath. It's not about America's not about money and a big stock market, or you can get the latest 4K TV from $380 at Walmart because it was made by slave labor in China. It's about the rights of human beings. That's what's paramount. And here's this tyrant that's going to take some girl from Guatemala, ship her out before her treatment is done.
Oh, I know. Her cancer treatment. Yeah, it really is just the death of human decency, that situation.
The central book, I don't know the Bible like Fred Bonig or anything. To me, it's just metaphor anyways.
Right.
I don't take it literally, and much of it's appalling. But Christ isn't about lying, deceit. This Northeast POWMIA network, it's got like 4 buzzwords. One of them is truth. It has no truth at all. But, an evangelical Christian, I guess, certain evangelical can lie, lie about stuff for the greater good.
Right.
And then they project it, because I'll come up with that next week. I've got all the stuff where they project it on the Muslims. Oh, Muslims are all lying. Oh, Omar took an oath on the Quran. That's not valid in the United States. It has to be on a Bible. And, she's just a duplicitous Sharia, lover anyways. But, to say that religion isn't one of the force driving the Reagan Republican Party.
Oh, yeah.
That was, Reagan came to power on the backlash, the racist backlash, the white backlash in California and in 1980. Here's a guy that launched his campaign in Philadelphia, Mississippi, which is the symbolic place where 3 civil rights workers were murdered just 16 years before.
Reagan's the one who gave us the welfare queen.
And he also
quote, unquote,
called up Nixon when he's governor. And so,
we learned that just recently. Yeah,
when China, which would be Taiwan, nationalist China was thrown out of the UN, and Red China, which they called at that time Communist China, the China we know, was seated in the UN. African delegates allegedly were dancing in the aisles. Yeah. So Dutch calls up Richard Nixon, called them monkeys.
Yep.
Macaca means monkey in, I guess, I know it is in Portuguese.
Yeah, I played the George Allen clip yesterday because I played that. Why did I play that? What was it? Something had reminded me of George Allen. Oh, Gary Landrieu in Louisiana using the N-word on a radio show as he's running for governor, and apparently was completely oblivious that you can't say that.
When did he do that?
Yeah, he was on a show called The Right Chicks. So our friend Chris James, he had called into the show and did a prank. He pranked Gary Landrieu while he was on the air. And then Landrieu then used the N-word in the aftermath of that.
You mean it happened just now? In recent times?
Oh, yeah. It's Louisiana. Remember, it's the state that almost made David Duke governor back in the 90s.
The thing, this is the last state, and I only found it out recently when I went to a reparations thing, and somebody told me, that had Martin Luther King Day. Something else.
Yeah, because
fought against it.
We held out. For a while, it was just Civil Rights Day.
It was just Arizona, and then we were the last one.
Yeah.
And Martin Luther King.
It made us look really
Jr.,
bad.
Who, other than Franklin Roosevelt, the greatest American who wasn't in government, it would be, always talked about these Christians that use the Bible to demonize blacks as the children of Ham, to deny them their civil rights and everything, to deny the centrality of that book, Bible, being used as an act of oppression, and to deny that Christ is a Jew. In his entire lifetime, Christ was a Jew. He didn't create a Christian religion.
Right.
He didn't create a Christian religion. The Christian religion wasn't even created until 300 some odd years later by the Armenians. That's the first Christian church. I mean, you got Saul of Tarsus thumping the tub. It would have been a cult of Judaism, part of Judaism. But to hear this stuff and then to say, "Oh, you're talking about a Bible," and it's the Obama economy, which it was going to go into a natural recession, according to Jeff Cassell and others.
Right.
But he just keeps stringing it out to try to get the recession that's going to hit till after his election.
Yeah.
But it might hit in spring or something. It's going to be disastrous.
There was economic data today that, the newest job creation numbers, not the ones that Mike was referring to, but the ones that came out today were not great. They weren't terrible. But
we're talking about Mick Jobs, too.
But they're not great.
We've lost manufacturing. It's never coming back.
Right.
Which is sad.
And part of that is due to the tariffs, and the agricultural sector is getting killed. So it's a little hard to give Trump a lot of credit for a great economy when the economy, I think, would be better, and I think most economists would agree with that. The economy
would into a mild recession.
Well, but the economy would also be greater if it weren't for this stupid, pointless trade war. That there's just no reason to be doing this.
Yeah, because that's slowing down other economies.
Absolutely. Well, and our own. The farmers are getting killed.
Jeff Cassell has been writing about this on Facebook, but he won't come on and talk about it.
Farming bankruptcies are at record numbers right now. They're getting killed. And so it's really hard to sit here and say, oh, Trump is doing a great job
but he's
on the
defending
economy.
white.
He's wiping out the farmers in the Midwest. He's
Who
wiping them out.
cares?
He's killing them.
Who cares?
So I'm
The
sorry.
stock market's
I'm sorry,
doing
Mike,
great.
but yeah, I'm glad
And
that
he's defending white Christian America.
Right, yeah.
And Mike just said that we really were going to go to Alabama. Here's Mike. I have a magic Sharpie too. Here's Mike.
Oh, let me put the camera on you. There we go. So.
The line's going to run around Mike. Whoa! I didn't think it would hit him. Where is he? I didn't know that Mike was in Manchester.
I think he said he's in Wyndham.
Oh, well, he's heading towards Wyndham, but it knocked him here, right?
So I really, even though we disagree, I really like Mike, and I always appreciate his calls. I did not like what he said about you, though. I want to be on record about that. I didn't like what he said to you.
When he said trivialization, a veteran.
Well, no, I'm referring to what he called you. I didn't like that.
Well, a veteran gets triggered.
That was out of line.
That's why you shouldn't have a Bible up there.
Right.
We easily get triggered.
Yeah. That wasn't.
Well, he just was saying it, and
I know.
In the heat of it.
I know. Oh, I know that. And he's a good guy, and he has a good heart, and he didn't mean it, but I didn't like that he said that. But
well, I got triggered.
Yeah. Yes. Well, you do get triggered at times.
And how, huh? That's one of the reasons they shouldn't have a damn Bible up there.
Mm.
Because some veteran on the other side will get triggered.
Right.
But what Mike won't let me say is a veteran put a text, a Jewish prayer book, a Wiccan book, a empty notebook, and something else, I'm not sure. Could be Hindu or Buddhist. And it was immediately taken off because under the direct control, it's not under local control.
I don't think Mike realizes this part.
Because he
in fairness to him, I don't think he understands.
Yeah, but why doesn't he read about it before he starts talking about it?
Well,
and
yeah, that's a great point. Yeah. But yeah, I don't think he realizes that part because he kept saying, well, if it's open to all religions to put a book there, he doesn't realize that.
But he's calling
no, it's not.
Why did you guys talk about how wonderful Trump is?
I know.
Well, Mike, I don't lead my life that, the stock market is the arbiter of all good money because I'm a Christian. And although it's hard to say that sometimes, money's the root of all evil. Even I don't have any money, Mike. I'm a disabled. If you saw what I got from the government.
Yeah.
It's pretty sad because they deny everything when you're putting into the Veterans Benefit Administration. The VHA, which is the Veterans Hospital, try to get you better. And the VBA tells you to go take a flying leap.
I do know one thing Trump did do for veterans, which I thought was a good thing recently. He signed into law the we talked about it because you were joking about you should have gone to law school. The debt forgiveness on college loans for veterans.
Oh, yeah.
Which is a good thing. That's a good thing. I'll give Trump credit for that. I'm glad he did that.
Can I tell the Al Baldessaro story, or do we have time?
We have about 3.5 minutes.
Well, I'm up there. Chris Pappas is doing great. He's on the Veterans Committee. He's completely, taken over from Carol Shea Porter, who was a stalwart defender in the Manchester VA. We were up at a meeting at the Manchester Veterans Center in Hooksett, where people were talking about, the services and everything. And they were talking about this bill Carol Shea Porter introduced, because some of the vets, talked about giving veterans in the VHA system, Veterans Health Care System, dental benefits, because dental health is so important, contribute to heart attacks. You have to pour dental health.
Yeah.
Some of the guys got, you only get it if you're 100%, even if you're 90 or 70. And then they were saying, why doesn't there's 55 sponsors. Chris put the bill in again. They're all Democrats, not one Republican. And these guys are Trump-loving, Republicans. Even though they respect Chris, they do. And Carol, because they knew they worked for her.
Yeah.
And they say, well, why the president, nobody's telling the president about this. And that's why it's not anybody's, why it's not getting done. It's not being put in the president. Finally, I said, after everything broke, because they were talking to one of Chris' staffers, I said, well, you have Al Baldessaro as a friend of Trump. He acknowledged him yet again here during the rally which I said good things about Trump, if you remember, which Mike never always forgets.
Yep.
In the heat of his psychosis. A little tit for tat. And how these Trump people got triggered. So I said, why don't you go have Al talk to him? And the guy just ignores me. I said, yeah, just silence you. He says, oh, what'd you say? I said, well, why don't you have Al Baldessero talk to Trump? We'll have to tell him about it. He says, it's not that easy. Yet during the entire public presentation, the president hasn't heard about it. No, he's like, if only he knew. Yeah, come on.
Yeah.
I mean, they treat this guy like he's Jesus Christ.
I know. Yeah.
Not Jesus Christ, because Jesus, he could never be Christ. Like he's the Jehovah that they pray in the Psalms. Oh, Jehovah, I want you to dash the brains of the children of my enemies out, on stones.
Yeah.
Like he's God on the throne.
I know.
And that's why that Bible matters, because it's a lie and it's a provocation, it's a manipulation.
Not the Bible itself, but the placement at the VA.
Yeah, no, it doesn't matter whether it's a Catholic Bible or Protestant Bible.
Agreed.
New English, this, that, or the other thing, which shows the ridiculousness of saying one Bible represents everything. They claim this represents everybody. Jews, atheists, everything. It's a lie, and it was based on a lie. And if Mike can't realize that lying is offensive, particularly to somebody, like me, I feel sorry for you. And you support a president that's the biggest liar in the history of the United States. Or possibly the world.
Right. That was quite a segment. And for the record, in case you missed it, Mike Doyle did call back another day, and he and John Hopwood made up, and it was very, very nice. Although I did get an email from Mike Doyle while on the air saying, well, you don't have to call it making up. That makes it sound sexual. But anyway, Mike Doyle apologized, and John Hopwood also apologized, and all was well. We have time for one more clip on this week's Best of Matt Connarton Unleashed. But don't forget, you can hear the show live weekdays from 4 to 6 p.m. on WMNH 95.3. We're going to finish up with a returning character to the show. I'm not going to tell you who it is. It's someone we hadn't heard from in a while, but he's back. And I'll just let you be surprised in case you missed it the first time. But this was a lot of fun. Take a listen.
Is that the ghost of John McCain?
I have no idea. I haven't seen the ghost for a while. I never actually have seen him, but I've only heard him.
Well, that's why they put the Bible up at the Manchester VA Medical Center. Because did you know, according to the folks that put it up there, John McCain is a collaborator to keep the remains of the MIAs and the POWs that are still in captivity, to keep them there. It's all part of a conspiracy with the Clintons and the Clinton Foundation.
Well, the thing about McCain is, if you love Trump, you must hate McCain. It's
even if you're a POW.
Oh, even if you're a POW,
or a professional POW lover.
Because it's very much like high school. So the cool kid who is Donald Trump, if he says, I don't like that guy, then you can't like him either. So even those who at one time might have revered and respected John McCain, as soon as Trump came along and said, I don't like that guy, then they all said, oh, okay, I guess we can't like him either. And no longer would they let McCain eat lunch at the cool table.
Or let the president be anywhere near a ship named after.
Right, yes.
Now, do you think that's part of this chain of events up at the Manchester VA Medical Center, where Vice President Pence is passing along a lie about this Bible having gone, through this incredible ordeal in World War II, when actually it was given to him, the World War II vet, by his mother. Since it looks like a 1957 edition, it's probably when he got home. Like I said, the union leader reports, he said he got it when he got home from his mother. She never said, got it 1945, 46. So if it was 57, he could have got it then. But they're pretending on the President Trump's favorite antidote to fake news, Fox News, they put this story out. And I just think that missing in action, POW table. Actually, they call it the missing man table, because you can only be a real American and a real veteran and a real Republican, I guess, unless you're a man. Particularly a white Christian man.
Well, that's obvious. You don't even have to say that. I mean, that's I think we all know that. That's clear.
So perhaps this could be a little stunt and many reasons, but one of them could be to atone, if that's a word. We could ask Fred Bonig if the atonement is, or because Gary Hopper's not here to actually tell us what being a Christian is.
The Honorable Gary S. Hopper, yes.
And that they're atoning for, we know that Donald Trump being God Almighty, God on the throne down in Washington, who's going to have, they're just going to take Lincoln out of that. Well, they should just blow up that Lincoln in his chair. He's the one who freed African Americans. I mean, slaves, which was a good thing, and that's what caused all the trouble.
Ideally, what they should also do is chisel Lincoln off the
what's it? Joel said that. It's remember you were on the show too, because Vika had the shirt. She had gone to South Dakota. And
Mount Rushmore?
St. Rushmore. Remember,
St. Rushmore.
Joel said he wanted to have his profile on St. Rushmore. You know, that famous Armenian saint who used to go around carving U.S. presidents everywhere.
Yeah.
First of all, they ought to get rid of the Lincoln Memorial because, you know, he's the one who caused all the race problem. Everything was fine before the War of the Rebellion. And but keep that basic design of that big throne he's sitting on, but I would make it as big as the biggest Trump Tower,
right?
And have Donald sitting in it.
Well, obviously,
there could be a pole on the back, you know. So,
and honestly, I mean,
dance.
And as far as Lincoln too, I mean, you know, that beard,
so passe.
That beard, very off-putting, in my opinion. Lincoln's beard.
I agree. You know, it was just a campaign stunt,
right?
And that would be a good first step towards healing the country and bringing everybody together to worship at the throne of Donald Trump.
What they should do ideally too with Mount Rushmore, actually, they should
St. Rushmore.
They should chisel everyone off of it and just have it be Trump.
That's a grand
Trump,
idea.
Eric, Ivanka, and Don Jr.
A future president of the United States.
Yes.
Right.
How great would that be? That would be perfect.
I'm getting goose pimples just thinking about it.
Yeah.
You know, I also think at Stone Mountain in Georgia, which I've actually seen. I was there 4th of July.
Stone Mountain, Georgia.
1976.
Home of Jake the Snake Roberts.
Where they have, you know, rebel leaders like Robert E. Lee and Stonewall Jackson. Somehow they ought to carve a horse there with Donald Trump leading, you know, let's say, I know the Trump family wasn't here. They were in Germany avoiding military service. You know, that's one of the Trump family traditions.
Right,
But they could have, you know, a mythical.
No wonder veterans love him so much.
A mythical, which is good as reality in the Donald Trump world. A mythical Donald Trump the first leading the charge at Gettysburg, which of course the South won, you know, with General Trump.
Yes.
He trumped the Yanks.
Yes,
you know?
yes.
And he won the first Medal of Honor ever given.
Very exciting.
That should be just blasted right into there, preferably with one of the small nukes Putin has offered Donald Trump.
You know, you can alter reality. It can all be done. If you remember, back when Sarah Palin was a vice presidential candidate.
I remember that well.
She would say,
she was excited, Nick.
I bet she did, but she would say, incredible thing. You know, I always say she reminds me of like a Hooters waitress with learning disabilities. But she would say these ridiculous things, and then her fans would actually go on Wikipedia and try to edit historical pages on Wikipedia to reflect what Sarah Palin had said. And that's 100, like, I'm not saying that to be funny. That happened.
My God.
They would actually go on Wikipedia and try to edit the pages. And now why don't people do that for Trump? Why does no one do that for Trump?
Only 11 years ago they had a magic Sharpie.
Yes.
They could have succeeded.
That would be great. Hi, welcome to Matt Connarton Unleashed. Who's this?
Oh, hello, everybody.
Hello, guys.
Oh, it's Easy G, the man with the guns and the pectorals. He is very sexy.
For his tank top.
Yes. We got to play his theme music, of course. It's Easy G. His time is now.
Can we MF a bit?
Oh, yeah, there you go. Yeah, no.
What's up, F-bomb?
Your time is up, my time is now. You can't see me, my time is now. It's the franchise.
Are you flexing, Easy G?
You can't see me, my time is now.
No.
Come on, Matt, join me.
Easy G's always flexing. Oh, my goodness. What are you doing over there? You're out of control.
Well, my lower body doesn't work.
I'm definitely a John McCain fan and not a Trump fan.
Right, yes.
I met John McCain, I tell you that.
I interviewed him. This is all about me right now.
Matt?
What?
No, you didn't. Were you wearing a muscle shirt?
Next time I come in the studio, I'm going to bring the photo in. The King of All Parts blew it up for me. I'll bring it in next time I see you.
It's probably him, like
and
this.
I met him at the
probably
a couple years ago when last time they were running for president, 2016, I believe. Yep, over at Veterans Park when it was the one of the
when it was called Trump, before it was called Trump
in
Park.
town Thursday night concerts, I believe. Or, it was Saturday when they were doing Saturday concerts back there.
Were the bathrooms open then?
Saturday in the park. 4th of
please.
July.
No Chicago.
You don't like Chicago?
And I said, thank you for your service. And he said, thank you very much. And I knew I had a chance to meet him because I said who knows when next time I'll see him,
Was his wife around?
Now he's dead.
Passed away, so.
That's right, yes.
Did you meet his wife?
I was very happy to meet him.
Did he C-bomb around her?
What?
I interviewed him twice. He was a good interview. He was a real person.
Yeah.
But I disagree with him.
He's an American hero. I don't care what Donald.
Wasn't an American hero. He wasn't. You're not a hero. Getting shot down.
Oh, you agree with Trump on that?
Well, you're not.
Crazy.
Surviving. Some
like prisoners that are captured.
What?
Wait, how should he shouldn't speak about any of that stuff because he never fought in any war.
No, he was 4F. But it doesn't matter. The veterans love him.
If anything,
the veterans do love him. He is a great hero to veterans.
How do you know he didn't serve in the war? That's fake news.
John McCain.
Oh, he's back.
Look what you guys did. You summoned the ghost of John McCain. That's what happens.
I have a clear record of bipartisanship.
That's what happens.
I don't think he was a hero.
I'm very happy with where we are.
All right. Bye-bye, Easy G.
I don't think John McCain is a hero.
See,
Do you have the clip that answers that?
See,
that's very hurtful.
Well,
that would be crazy.
Maybe.
Yeah, see? That's what happens when you start talking like that. You summon his ghost.
I strongly disagree with your assertion.
See?
Up yours.
That is very
very
I can't
hurtful.
believe you. That's
we have that clip?
I'm a big boy.
Yeah, see?
Was that Peter White saying that?
Those kind of remarks are very hurtful.
No, that was the ghost of John McCain.
I'm sorry, ghost of John McCain.
Well, now...
I'm just... I'm in a learning moment.
What was the, when you mentioned the C word, was that a reference to the story that he once publicly called Cindy McCain the C word?
Yeah, he called her Cindy.
Yeah. No,
or did he call her Marsha?
He was mad at her.
Is this the morning show? Marsha.
No, he was very upset with Cindy about something.
You know that Greg Brady has his own show on one of these obscure cable TV channels. I think it has to do with cars, old cars.
Oh,
I'll have to ask Peter.
Yeah.
Peter around? Peter, I have cigarettes.
Oh, is that how you?
I prefer to call them cigarettes.
Is that how you summon Peter?
No, that would have to be a beer and cigarettes.
He's got his own things.
I definitely, I have herpes.
He's got his own things to worry about. So.
A hairpiece? Joel always thought everybody had a hairpiece. He tried to grab Joe Lavasser's hair. That's true.
I don't think that's what he said.
I definitely, I have hepatitis.
Oh, I thought he said he had a hairpiece.
No.
The first clip he had said I have a hairpiece.
Do you just not listen?
I definitely,
I
have
swamp ass.
Why don't you?
I have tinnitus.
Pay attention. He is swearing.
I definitely,
I have osteoporosis.
Hi, welcome to Matt Connarton Unleashed. Who's this?
It's Scumpy.
Oh, hello, guys.
Jeff Scumpy Lorenz. Haven't seen or heard from you in a dog's age.
We have your here though in spirit and your Scumpy license plate from 1297, which is a very good year. Were you a Viking back then?
A Viking?
Oh yeah, 1297.
Well, he's got the hair for it.
I was listening. Someone was, I think it was Gonzo the other day, yesterday morning, was telling me that the Brady Bunch. We're talking about Greg Brady. They have a new show. And it's all the kids, and they're remodeling the old house. They're putting a second floor on it, and they're selling it. I don't know. I don't know what channel it's on or anything, but
is Cindy
I
turning
guess
tricks?
Some kind of, I don't know, man. Have you guys seen anything about that?
She making pornographic films in the rumpus room?
I seem to remember there being a discussion about that on the morning show.
That requires a cool hand at the tiller.
Or is it Gonzo just making things up? I don't know.
Yeah, well, I maybe.
In the spirit of
disagree with your assertion.
In the spirit of
I'd like to
Donald
see it,
Trump, that he's making things up. Do you have a
Absolutely.
magic Sharpie, Scumpy?
Ooh, how fun.
A who?
A magic Sharpie, Scumpy. Do you possess a magic Sharpie, Scumpy? Like when you're writing your music and you got whatever the sheet is with the big G clef
Oh, you're
or the
exactly
G
right.
string. You just magic Sharpie it, and then you got a great hit. It's called
The Magic Sharpie?
Yeah, it's called the who's the guitarist?
I do not.
Led Zeppelin. I can't remember.
Jimmy
his name.
Page.
It's called the Jimmy
Page.
Page School of Songwriting. It's magic. Where all that music comes from. It's kept the plagiarism lawyers.
I do write songs on a couple of different guitars that I like more than others.
You know, that's an interesting statement, isn't it?
But anyway.
Have you ever borrowed music from
What's
another
that?
artist and pretend it was your own?
No, I have not. I've taken influences and worked kind of like some, certain different chords and stuff and mixed them around and made my own kind of, it's different. It's
You can do
use
it.
influences to.
How many
It
lawsuits?
kind of gives you a melody and different chords and stuff, but
Jimmy Page.
Led Zeppelin is the most
sued
band in history.
It's
Absolutely,
like complete lists.
I learned about that from
Whole Lot of Love.
Our friend Paul Cormier. Just how many times Led Zeppelin has been sued. They even stole not only did they steal from the old blues guys.
Yeah, Whole Lot of
They
Love.
actually stole a song from Joan Baez. Who steals from Joan Baez? Scumpy, you wouldn't steal from Joan Baez,
Jeff
would you?
Casella's tried to
you know
find Jeff.
who else? Who covered a song from Joan Baez? Diamonds and Rust is Judas Priest.
No kidding.
I didn't realize that.
Diamonds and Rust is actually a Joan Baez song, but Judas Priest does it way more. Way better.
Yes.
We actually do the Judas Priest version live.
You know, Joan Baez isn't a
Joan Baez.
She doesn't identify in a binary way, or at least she did like 20, 30 years ago.
I'll tell you. Listen to Diamonds and Rust off Unleashed. Not in the afternoon, but Unleashed in the East.
Yeah.
Judas Priest. Diamonds and Rust. And you'll hear Joan Baez, Diamonds and Rust, and it's a Joan Baez song, and it's a great song.
Wow.
Scumpy,
is your opinion.
Maybe you can play that one at the 5 o'clock hour, Matt.
That's a great idea.
Instead of the Kiss song.
We may do that.
Now,
Yes.
Scumpy, you're a Donald Trump
Do it
supporter.
off Unleashed in the East.
Yes.
Yep, Judas Priest, Unleashed in the East, Diamonds and Rust.
Okay. All right. I'm going to do it. I'm going to play that at 5 o'clock.
Scumpy, do you think that the President Trump has any plans to send Joan Baez, who is Mexican, back?
I do not.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Was that
I don't know, man. I
Scumpy,
can
or
barely hear you guys. I'm going to have to let you go.
was that Scumpy, or was that the ghost of John McCain?
That was the ghost of John McCain.
Oh, I thought it was Scumpy.
Yeah.
It's a ghost of Scumpy. No, I'm still alive.
I think we should send the ghost of John McCain back.
So back. Yes.
Back where?
You can
Back
do
to
that.
the fourth floor. Norm, where are you when we need you?
Wow.
Probably getting a speeding ticket.
It's all good. I was going to stop by, but I just didn't quite have the time. I'm on my way down to practice now.
Oh, well, you should.
Should have stopped by.
Yes, but you should. Before you go, Scumpy, you should plug your next show and give us an update on the acting.
Oh, yeah, we got the acting. I got the September 29th. I'm doing a shoot.
With Cindy
It's
Brady?
called Fair Fight, and it's a fight. It's actually at a
Fight?
fair, but it's based on that last movie I was in. They're doing a series with it now. So I'm going to be a reoccurring, guy in that. So
Excellent.
That's September 29th, that shoot.
He resembles Ron
And then,
Jeremy a bit.
October 5th, we're playing at the Pit Road out in Concord.
October 25th?
October 5th.
Oh, October 5th. I'm sorry.
You got
I don't
my
know.
disease.
And then
Oh,
October 26th, we're doing the Davion Snowshoe Club. We're doing their Halloween party.
No kidding.
And then at the Getaway, we're doing their Christmas party in December. So
Very nice. Very nice.
and we're looking to get on recycled percussion. They're doing a big party in Laconia.
Oh yeah,
we might get on that bill. I'm working on it now.
Yes.
Well, that would be amazing.
There's supposed to be thousands of people there. The biggest fireworks ever in the state, they said. And so I'm working on trying to get that, getting us in that gig. That'd be nice.
No doubt.
Oh, you're exactly right.
Now, would you consider playing a gig that for presidential candidate William Weld, the former governor of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts? His wife.
No, I would play for Trump though.
You would refuse a gig with William Weld?
I would probably do it. Yeah.
He's going to bash Donald Trump,
it's
though.
Publicity. I play with any of those guys. I mean, it's national publicity. So
of course, yes, you'd be foolish not to.
I'll tell them I love them, and then I play, and then I vote for Trump.
Right.
Absolutely.
Well, that's smart. I mean, not the voting for Trump part, but the rest of it. Yeah.